Am I back? Not for good. This has been a hot minute. My hair's gone mostly. I haven't uploaded a video in months and my life has not been better. I'm just in a good spot. I'm losing in fantasy, so I am all around right where you thought I would be. We got two people in the live chat. Posted a link on Twitter. Let's see if people join it. I came here with 0 talking points, so it's mostly a Q&A waiting for you guys to put something in the chat and see what I can say in return. But honestly, as you guys probably know, everything that I say will have 0 positive impact on your life, especially your fantasy team. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks. Appreciate you. Oh, we got 6 people in here. People still want to watch this? Dicey. Wicked dicey, man. Wicked dicey. Come on, someone's got to have a question of whether or not to start. Ooh, talk about Daddy Mike White. Daddy Mike White's kind of different. It's amazing to me that a guy with as generic of a name as Mike White and Josh Johnson. Actually, the whole Jets quarterback room is the most generic name simulator of all time. Zach Wilson, Mike White, Josh Johnson. They all kind of fucking stink, but they all have very, very plain names, and they kind of sling that shit. Taking hair advice from Animal A. I tried to go for a mullet, and these people don't know how to cut hair. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's better than it was. I was rocking an undercut for way too long. I promise my hair isn't always like this. I put some product in it, and I don't know what's going on. It's like wicked stiff right now. It's usually better than this. I assure you. I don't know what's happening. Don't know what's happening. Is Javonte Williams ever going to score anything outside of 8 to 11 fantasy points in my RB2 slot? Nah, him and Ty Johnson are basically the same person, except you're going to pay a lot more to get Javonte than you are for Ty Johnson. Listen, some product. Fuck you. He's very good, but Melvin Gordon is still very good. And I don't think that with this offense having no quarterbacks that they're going to completely try to flip the switch and make Javonte the 1A to Melvin Gordon's 1B. I think what's happening right now is going to continue to happen while they have Melvin Gordon on the final year of his I almost said product, of his contract. So I'm not going to expect too much this year. I would be buying in Dynasty, though, because Javonte is young and he looks fucking great. Bateman been arguing with Hollywood for target lead past couple games. Rest of the season, thoughts PPR. I love Rashad Bateman. The kid is always open. I honestly think that he could eventually push Jamar Chase for the wide receiver 1 in this class. I don't care what you say. I'm in love with you, aka him. Ooh, wow. Somebody came into the chat strong. Can I ban somebody? Wow, he is. Let me do that. Nice. I hit all his messages. That was a wild addition to the chat. I'm not even going to say who that man is. I really like Bateman. He's always open. He's playing more of that possession receiver for Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to go crazy this week on Thursday night because they do have those good outside corners, and they're probably going to waste them on Marquise Brown's fragile ass, even though Marquise Brown has been very good. I think that he's going to be good the rest of the season. I think he's going to have a great career, and him seeing 6'6" and 8 targets, things are looking up for the kid. Always open, drawing deep pass interference calls. I think he's slowly becoming the number 2 option in this offense. Elijah Moore or Jalen Waddle this week, half PPR. Jalen Waddle plays Baltimore. Elijah Moore, I never know who the Jets are playing. If you want upside, to go Moore. If you want floor, I'd go Waddle. I think Baltimore's an absolutely butt frig up the Miami Dolphins offensive line. So is Carson going to re-injure his neck grocery shopping tonight? No, but I heard he's going to a play and he might get done like Abe Lincoln. Mike Williams consensus kind of nervous about him. Yeah, ever since I thought I muted this dude. This dude's just throwing weird shit in the chat. Can I remove him forever? Ever since he got hurt with his back, I think he's kind of been shitty. He dropped not a would-be touchdown last week, but he was like right on the goal line. He dropped it. Listen, as a Chargers fan, I hate all of them. Why is he in here saying he's in the silence? Nick, I'm going to have to ban you if you're just going to take the side of Adolf Hitler, Nazi party, kill all. I can't read all that. I'm going to get taken out of context. But yeah, Mike Williams is kind of a fraud. He's used deep down the field now. He was being used as that Mike Thomas type early on in the season. Then he got hurt, fucked up his back, as per usual, or his knee, or whatever the hell's going on with Mike Williams. I can't believe anything he says. I think he's kind of a bum, as he always has been. You become big enough for accounts like that to come into the chat. See, I don't know how these people find me. I would never want to find me. You traded away Mike Williams straight for a 2022 first after his 40-point game. Love that. Someone ban this Nick guy. Sheesh. I might promote him. Can I promote to a moderator? That's a tall task. That is a very tall task. I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna give Luis Sanchez that permission. Luis, you're now a moderator. Do with whatever comes with that power. I can't really speak English anymore. You guys have a lot of questions about Mike Williams, and I'm sure he has questions about his life as well. Is there anything about practice status? I hate looking up NBC Sports Edge. That's gonna be the death of me. The rebrand was worse than mine. Nope. Nothing new on the kid. He just stinks. Hmm. You're lucky I don't know how to collect off a super chat. Yeah, the past 3 weeks, Mike Williams has not even topped 100 total yards. You're gonna have to start him though. He's basically just a tall Tyler Lockett. So if you're a height supremacist, shout out the league. You got to go with Mike Williams every single week. Rank my wide receiver rest of season PPR. Mike Will, Bobby Trees, Ridley Godwin. We have one guy that's not going to play probably another down this year. Chris Godwin's now hurt. I hate the nickname Bobby Trees. Just because of that, I'm probably going to rank it Mike Williams, Chris Godwin, Robert Woods, Calvin Ridley. If you called him Robert Woods and not Bobby Trees, he might be the number one, though. With Wilson coming back, do you think Lockett and Metcalf will be back to normal? Yes. I think Metcalf slots right back into like a top 5 to 8 wide receiver rest of the season. Lockett, he's going to be like top 12 on a per game basis, but you're never going to want to start him. In the weeks that you start him, he sucks. In the weeks that you sit him, he goes crazy. So you're just going to have to put him in your lineup. Ernie, that is a wild amount of pronouns. I don't even know. Noah Guy Bro, man, are you liking Elijah Moore or Bateman this week? I'm going to have to look up who the Jets are playing. You guys have way too many Jets in your teams to be asking me about starting them on the schedule. They're playing the Bills. Yeah. I'm not playing Elijah Moore. I'm playing Rashad Bateman. Oh, show. Holy shit. Rip Joe Burrow. Love that. Oh, Josh is falling for it. Is Michael Pittman really an alpha? His YouTube channel / girlfriend are elite. I didn't know that he had a YouTube channel or a girlfriend. So now he is falling down my rankings. He's good. Carson Wentz is an absolute shithole, but he throws it to one person and one person only, and that is Michael Pittman. It looks like T.Y. Hilton's going to be back this week. I don't really know what that means. Zach Pascal is a lock for like 7 targets, 4 receptions, 43 yards, and no touchdowns or 2 touchdowns, no in between. So, yeah, I think Pittman can be a top 15 receiver rest of season, but their schedule sucks and they have a bye in week 14. So be careful. If you're a team that's on the fringe of making the playoffs, maybe trade away Pittman or don't trade for Pittman because you're not going to have him. Thoughts on Dalvin Cook getting ragdoll? Jesus Christ. I have no comment on Dalvin Cook getting ragdolled by an army thought. I can't wait to lose my job that I just got. Thoughts on Montgomery going forward? He has a bye this week. I'm pretty sure Chicago has one of the softer schedules you could ever imagine on the ground. And that idiot Justin Fields looked like a fucking nightmare on Monday night in a good way. He was thrown across his body, making Andy Dalton quiver in his boots. He looked good. And it looked like it was a Dave Montgomery show. I think he played 85% of the snaps. He looked like himself out there. He didn't look hindered by his injury at all. And coming out of the bye, they played the Ravens, which is tough. Then the Lions, which is beautiful. That's on Thanksgiving. You know he's rushing for like 10,000 yards. Cardinals is tough. And then he gets the Packers, Vikings, Seahawks, Giants. Love that. You drafted blackout drunk, then picking all Jets. That's what you get. T.Y. Hilton will have a questionable tag to his name. No, not for the next 3 snaps. He'll have a questionable tag for the first snap and then never play football again, which is probably better that way. Thanks, Josh. I am probably already fired. It's all right, though. We move on. We move on. I'm used to being fired. I need to see who's playing this week. Who's playing who? So I can aptly answer the question of whether or not to start a Jet. Week 10. Would you trade Henderson for Montgomery? That's a tough one. Henderson hasn't had his bye. He has his bye next week. Montgomery's on his bye this week, so it doesn't really matter with bye weeks. The Rams look like dog shit on Sunday night, but they're still probably the best or like at least top 3 offense in the NFL. Very close. I would probably lean Montgomery. I think that he's gonna have a higher snap share than Henderson. Henderson's snap share has been dwindling these past few weeks. Sonny Michel played a pretty big role on Sunday, and Henderson can't really stay healthy. We've seen him get banged up like 3 times this year. We saw last year he was out for a big portion of the year, and his receiving game usage isn't consistent. David Montgomery's out there running like he's a fucking prime Marcus Allen, who I'd never seen play, but I heard he's good, so I'll make that comparison. I would take David Montgomery, but very slightly. It's not a move that I'd like go out and really try to make, though. It's like a very lateral move, which ironically Henderson can't move that direction. New boss definitely seen that subscriber and revoked the contract. It's all right. Are we thinking Ayuk might be back? No, I don't trust him. Like he could be back, but I just don't trust him. Mike White or Patrick Mahomes this week? I wish I was kidding. Mike White is playing Buffalo, and Patrick Mahomes is playing the Raiders. Please play Patrick Mahomes, but don't be surprised when he stinks again. How do you feel about DJ Moore rest of the season with Panthers quarterback situation and CMC back? It can't get worse than Sam Darnold. I saw some stat that like over the past 10 years, there have been like 373 quarterbacks with as many attempts as Sam Darnold has these past 4 weeks, and he's the worst out of any of them. And I'm pretty fucking sure Johnny Manziel played in the last 10 years. I have no clue what's happening. He's terrible. PJ Walker also fucking stinks. DJ Moore, if you can sell him for anything greater than wide receiver 2 value, I would do it. It's just going to be inconsistent. And he's a guy that you just hope for volume. And I'm not sure it's going to be there with CMC there and a quarterback who's not really a good quarterback whatsoever. About to make some big boy money now. You can buy more Top Shot or you can buy some Ozigbo cards when NFL releases their version. I don't know what you consider big boy money. If you consider $12.50 an hour that, no, it's not that bad. But no, I'm far away from Top Shot. I sold all my shit a while ago. What are we looking at with Mick Nichols? An absolute dumpster fire. It's a 3-way committee, and he's a pass catching back in an offense that doesn't throw to their running backs. It's not great. Matt Ryan versus Dallas. You have Kyler, who's probably not going to play. Is that like who would you play of the two? I would play Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's been incredible except for his game against Carolina. I wrote him up in the waiver wire this week. Since week 2, including that Carolina game, he's on pace for I think like 4,900 yards and 37 touchdowns, which is just shy of his MVP numbers. He's incredible for fantasy. He fucking stinks in real life, but I don't care. Dallas's defense gives up a million big plays a game. I would feel pretty comfortable playing him. Listen, Atlanta can't run the ball. Their defense is all right, but it's not going to be able to stop Dallas's offense, even though they look terrible against the Broncos this week. I think it could be somewhat of a shootout. And if that's the case, or not a shootout, but they're playing from behind. If that's the case, I think that he will be a good start this week. Dylan or Javante? I would start Dylan if A-Rod plays, Javante if he doesn't. AJ Dillon's been kind of a menace. And I was thinking maybe Matt LaFleur is scaling back Aaron Jones because he doesn't want to hear the comparison back to Tennessee where he played, what's his name? Deion Lewis over Derrick Henry, and doesn't want that same comparison to be drawn with Aaron Jones over Dillon, even though Aaron Jones is much better than Deion Lewis and much better than Dillon. But alas, we're seeing what's happening. Javante or Antonio Gibson? Give me Javante. Antonio Gibson fucking stinks. Think we see Javante take over Denver backfield this season? No, I don't. I think Melvin Gordon's still doing well enough to continue being the 1A. It's like basically like a 52-48 split. If you were to start a franchise in real life, how many other players would you pick ahead of Herbert? I would take Patrick Mahomes. even though the guys looked like dog shit these past few weeks. I would take Lamar Allen, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. That might be it. Kyler Murray's close. Cowboys fans are gonna be yelling at me for not saying Dak Prescott. And Trevor Lawrence hasn't looked good. Yeah, give me those. Will the Bills get back on track? Yeah, they will. Compare different candies to NFL franchises. I don't know much about candies. Okay, Brosi Brosum, I can't read your stuff out loud anymore. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, I don't know. I would just say the Jets are milk duds. That's all I got for you. Sanders or Ayuk? Give me Emmanuel Sanders. He's seeing consistently like 6+ targets a game and over 100 air yards a week. I think that's eventually going to translate. San Fran plays the Rams. I don't love that. I don't love that for them. Not a fan. Jets are three musketeers. Okay. I'm gonna remove moderator because there's no longer a white supremacist in our chat, so I don't think it's necessary. But Lewis, you did a great job while you were handed the keys. Which one should I start at my flex? Javante Waddle, AP Bateman, or Ayuk? Love the content too. Keep it up. You love the content. I haven't been making zero content. I would play Rashad Bateman, so you have a reason to watch Thursday night. Should I start trying to acquire some picks now before their value is huge closer to the draft? All I've heard is that this draft class stinks. I like Malik Willis. I remember watching him last year. He was like Tyrod Taylor if Tyrod Taylor didn't get stabbed in the chest. If you want to. I heard 2023 is pretty dope. Maybe go for that. Brosi Brosum, I think if I make you moderator, I might just get thrown in jail. Buy low running back with rest of season upside. That's a good question. Let me look at running back names. One of those people where if you ask me a question where there's not like a set amount of names already listed, I just go blank. I can name like maybe 3 running backs off the top of my head. I think you should sell James Conner, honestly. People are valuing him like fringe top 5 rest of the season. I don't know. The guy's never held up. And if they're going to use him how they use him on Sunday, I give him 2 weeks tops. And that's not me like wishing he gets injured. It's just realism. So if you can sell him for like a Leonard Fournette plus, I would do that. If you could sell him for Henderson plus, I would do that. If you could sell him for Nick Chubb straight up, if you could sell him for what are the bums that are in the NFL? David Montgomery plus, I would do that. I would sell Michael Carter because that team is a dumpster fire. I would sell Antonio Gibson. I didn't answer your question at all. I'm just saying things, but there you go. My content the past 2 weeks has been the best content I've put out over the past few years. I cannot argue that. Do you think Kupp will end the year as the wide receiver one? If not, who? I mean, yeah. And I think if anybody challenges it, it's probably Devontae Adams, Debo Samuel. Everybody had Debo as like the wide receiver 3 before this past week. And now they're like, maybe he's top 12. Debo Samuel's incredible. Still top 5. Who else? Deontay Johnson's kind of nice, but also sucks because I said he sucks like 3 months ago. I don't know. A lot of good receivers. DK Metcalf with Russ back is pretty good. AJ Brown, I think, could push for it too. Someone offered you Darnold Edmonds 2022 mid to late first for Lawrence and Hunt Dynasty half PPR. Trevor Lawrence is worth all of that alone, so I would take the Trevor Lawrence head. Can you drop Zach Moss? Do you even care? To answer your second question, no. To answer your first question, yes. How can you get Gibson off of your team? There's usually a button that says drop. I would go for it. Got offered Saquon and Jefferson for Najee. You have Zeke and Swift. Thoughts? If it's not Van Jefferson, I would take it. That's all I'll say about that. The Giants have a very nice end of season schedule. So does Najee. But getting Saquon's pretty elite. And Jefferson's been kind of shitty. If your wide receivers are weak, I would do it. If not, then I probably just keep Najee. But getting 2 really good players for one like elite player, I'm not against that. How do you rank the rookie receivers in Dynasty at this point? I would go Jamar Chase. I really like Bateman. I'd probably go Chase, Bateman, Devonta Smith, Waddle, Elijah Moore. If I'm forgetting somebody, let me know. Rondell Moore after that. Could Gotta break through into top 6 rest of the season? No. I think tight end is basically Kelsey, massive gap. Andrews, Kittle, Waller, that's 4. Gesicki. Pitt sucks. Probably Hawkinson. Would I trust Joe Rogan with important medical advice? I would trust anybody with medical advice. I have no clue what I'm doing to my life. Traded Frymouth and Bateman for Dillon and Ingram. Have DKCD, Judy, Andrews. Good trade. I'd probably keep Frymouth and Bateman. OBJ stat line prediction last 7 games. I think 0 targets, and then you can do the rest of the math on your own. Ooh, Kadarius Toney, forgot him. I would put him ahead of Jalen Waddle. Thank you, Chris Mackey. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. He's very close to what's his name to Devonta Smith, just because I think they're going to try to keep Hurts around, and Hurts can't throw to him consistently. At least Daniel Jones is dumb enough to throw to the same receiver 15 times in a row. Would I play both Judy and Sutton this week with Tim Patrick and Noah Fant out? The Denver Broncos play the Eagles. The Eagles did a pretty good job locking up that idiot Mike Williams because they kept slaying him. I assume he gets the task of shadow covering Cortland Sutton. I would play Judy over Sutton. I probably wouldn't play both. It depends on who else you have. Ooh, Josh, that's a pretty good line. I had the line at 11.5, so you're hammering the over on plus money. I would probably say that's a good bet. Given we know today, what are your early 2022 top 10? Oof. Oof. It's an issue with me being on a Dynasty channel answering questions about players I have no clue about. All I know is Malik Willis, Matt Corral, and Sam Howell are quarterbacks. Carson Strong can't move. Brees Hall, Isaiah Spiller, and Buddy from Michigan State are supposed to be good. And then like Traylon Burks, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. I just named names. If that added up to 10, then that's probably the top 10 because those are like 10 of the names that I've heard. You have quite a few backup running backs. Like Freeman, Khalil. Who the fuck is Freeman? Royce? Devonta? Khalil? Tate? Herbert? Booker and Howard. Would you drop any of them for Eno, Ramondre, or Jarrett, or should I hold on to them in case the starter gets hurt again? I don't know who that Freeman is. I would drop him for Eno Benjamin. I would drop Howard for Jarrett Patterson too, because every week the Philadelphia Eagles use somebody different. Projected 101 and 106 in 14-team Dynasty. Need running back. Listen, I don't know much about this class. I heard the class fucking stinks. I'd say like Traylon Burke and Brees Hall and see what happens. We're like 7 months away. Everything's going to change. Cordell Patterson and Waddle for Kadarius, Henderson, and Sutton. Who wins? I get CPAT side. In redraft, it's super fair. I think Patterson and Henderson are extremely similar. Waddle and Sutton are extremely similar. And Kadarius Toney is like iffy. I would probably lean the Henderson side, but that's just me. I don't know, Josh. I think Devonta Freeman's kind of a bum. That's the difference between you and I. I'm irrational and you're super irrational. I don't know. Freeman's looked good this year. But that backfield is a fucking mess. Le'Veon Bell's getting touches. Latavius Murray's going to be back. Lamar Jackson just wants to throw now. If Chubb misses, is Johnson a good start? Dearness Johnson is a fringe, like top 8 running back every week he is out. Every week that Chubb is out. The guy is basically Kareem Hunt on legal steroids. SARMs, if you will. So yeah, I would start him. Thoughts on Dr. Morse? Follow me on Twitter for my thoughts of Twitter doctors. and how legitimate they are. Might just put out a tweet right now saying to stash every backup running back. And then when one of them gets hurt, I'll tell you that I was correct and you should listen to me because I went to school for 14 years. Did I see Dune? No, and I hope me saying no isn't gonna get me canceled or something. A film? Is it a movie or like a show? I have not seen Doom. Jesse Morse might be my least favorite person that I've never met. I honestly think the most surprising thing about Dr. Jesse Morse is one time he posted his height and weight, and I think he said he was 5'7". That man carries himself like he's 6'5". I don't know, big respect. He's a tall 5'7" for sure. I don't know who David Chow is. With a name like that, I'd say 0. Did you find a job yet? I did. I actually had 2 offers, kind of a hot commodity. I accepted one because the other place didn't get back to me, and then the other place got back to me, and the offer was a whole lot better. So I had the tough phone call of telling the other people to hold the phones and that my signature was invalid because I was not gonna work for them. I did accept both, Josh, I did. It wasn't a great move. Uh, you're seeing it a 4th time Saturday. I have no clue what Dune is, but it sounds like a good movie. I'm not a big movie person. If you name, like, 10 the top 10 movies of all time, I might have seen, like, 2 of them. I might have seen, like, 12 movies in my life. I watched 21 Jump Street this past weekend, so that's one of them. I don't know. My attention span is not great enough for a movie. Midnight 201, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too, despite your name suggesting you wouldn't be awake right now. You have Tannehill, Cousins, and Rodgers in redraft Superflex League. 4-point passing touchdown. Should I look to flip him for position player or hold? Who should I aim for? As stupid as this sounds, like I'm low key nervous about a guy like Cousins or Rodgers because of the whole COVID thing. I'm pretty sure if you're unvaccinated and you test positive or you come into contact or something, you have to sit. I have no clue. All I know is Aaron Rodgers is wilding out and like the Vikings had some sort of outbreak. I'm no doctor. I barely graduated college. But if you wanted to flip him, I'd probably keep Tannehill the bunch just because like it seems the safest of them. I don't know, man. Rodgers has a piss easy schedule, and if they get OBJ, although he's like not great anymore, I think that offense is going to be completely opened up. Maybe try to flip Cousins, see what you can get for him. If you can't get anything, I'd be fine just keeping 3 quarterbacks. If Chubb misses, would you play Johnson over Elijah Mitchell in the standard league? Yeah, I would, but I try to find a way to get both of them in there. What percentage of fantasy football doctors love Diet Coke? Um, Probably all of them. 0 calories. It's like water. Can't bail on Mahomes for Cousins this week in one quarterback league, right? You would think. No, I would. I would play Mahomes. I just think the Chargers fucking stink at stopping the run, and if Dalvin Cook plays this week, which like isn't a known commodity, uh, it's going to be a game where they just try to dominate possession, try to keep Herbert off the field, and it's not going to allow for them to really throw the ball too much. The Chiefs play the Raiders, and if he can't do well against the Raiders defense, then I don't know what's going to happen. The Raiders do have a good pass rush, but I think he'll be able to do well through the air. You're a Niners fan, so help me. Is trading Debo, Claypool, Renfro, and Aaron Jones for Najee, Diggs, and Mike Williams bad? I love Debo, so it's like, damn. Okay, so Debo versus Mike Williams, give me Debo. Diggs versus Claypool, give me Diggs. Renfro and Aaron Jones versus Najee, give me Najee. I would take the Najee, Diggs, and Mike Williams said. That's just how I do. Or you can do like Claypool is equal to Mike, or Mike Williams is better than Claypool. Diggs is a little worse than Debo. Najee is better than Renfro and Aaron Jones. Like split it like that and see what happens. But if you need depth, then it's like close enough where you can keep your side. But I would definitely take the Najee. Najee. I don't know. People are saying he's sleeping on floors when he's not. I have no clue what's happening anymore. Need help with 2 players for the flex: Gaskin Freeman, Devonta Smith, or Alex Collins. Give me Devonta Smith and Miles Gaskin. Do you think see, brosim, I can't even read your questions automatically because I get halfway through, I'm like, "Should this be said out loud?" Do you think that no way that she's no. Did she really save his name as that in the phone? If that's the case, listen, I'm no lawyer, but that is my exhibit A. Exhibit A is that a woman saved his name as Dalvin the chef cook. No way. Where's this screenshot? I need to find this. Dalvin. The girlfriend doesn't have my name saved as, like, Noah the FB god. I'm not gonna say my last name so I don't get doxxed, even though it's on my Twitter. Listen, if that's the case, I'm gonna put a tweet out, and I don't care if I get canceled. There's no chance a woman is putting a man's nickname in the contact information. Mina Kimes. Alright, let me see Mina Kimes. I only follow 69 people, so I didn't see this. I saw some screenshot. I didn't look in depth to see the contact name. Sorry, chat. I gotta read this. Oh no, that's like a isn't that like an Instagram DM? That's gotta be Instagram. Dalvin the chef cook. Yeah, it's like a verified tag. Listen, if that was like a legit phone number, that'd be wild. Would you trade Cooper Cup for Debo Fournette and a 2022 first Dynasty full PPR? Yeah, I would. Cooper Cup's awesome, but you can get a guy like Debo who's younger and like almost just as awesome, and Leonard Fournette and a first. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Listen, my main league team is a fucking nightmare. I have so many good players. I'm 4 and 5, the second most points scored, and I'm like almost not gonna make the playoffs. Then again, they're not good players if they can't win you weeks, right? 16 team league. I got Patrick Mahomes, Zeke, Eckler, Devontae, Deontay, Travis Kelsey, Mike Williams. And your boy's 4 and 5. It's a tough life out here. Tough life. Got Eno Benjamin off waivers and Sony Michelle and Justin Fields. I don't know what's happening with my life. I'm just losing. I also come to realize that the less research you do in fantasy football, the better you become. And I said that like half in jest, all in earnest, or whatever the saying is. Like I put out a few videos this summer saying some guys that I would fade and some guys that I liked. No research done, just pure gut feeling and like situational awareness. I think I hit on all of them. I said Josh Jacobs was a fraud. Guess what? He's an injured fraud, like I said. Tyler Boyd, too many mouths to feed. Guess what? Too many mouths to feed. He fucking stinks. Chase Edmonds, he's injury prone and can't do anything between the tackles. Look what's happening. He stunk this year. People liked him because he gave you 9 to 12 points. You didn't draft him for that bullshit. I want to see what other videos I said or what else I said in videos. I put out like 3 of them. So like a 50% hit rate is all I need. Let me see, just based off of thumbnails. Maybe I put out way less videos than I thought. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I'd put out like no content this offseason. It's all right though. Ooh, I said not to draft Deontay Johnson. That's rough. That's rough for the kid. Whatever. Whatever. No research victory laughing. That's what I'm saying, Josh. Like you can look into like stats and trends all you want. And it's nice to help if you're like really looking deep into a situation, but I just find it more fun to just go off of gut and be like, "Fuck, my gut stinks. I'm lactose intolerant out here." Or you just trust the situation, you go ham. Daryl Henderson and CH for Aaron Jones and PPR redraft. I'm the Aaron Jones owner here. Take Daryl Henderson. Aaron Jones' workload is iffy at best on an offense that is seeming to want to commit to AJ Dillon for whatever reason. He's been good, but like Aaron Jones is still elite. I would take Henderson. Who did you draft with in the 16 team league where you got all those players? It's not the draft, it's trades. I think I made like 13 trades. I'm a fiend. I just draft players. I'm like, you know what? They're all gonna be gone soon. After week one, I traded Tyson Williams and DJ Chark for Keenan Allen, which like sounds stupid now, but Tyson Williams was seen to be the RB1 there, and DJ Chark had a huge week with like a franchise quarterback and Trevor Lawrence, so that worked for me. And then I flipped Keenan Allen, Daryl Henderson for Mark Andrews and Zeke, and then Mark Andrews and uh who? Mark Andrews and some receiver. Mark Andrews Pollard for like DJ Moore and Kelsey. I don't know what's happening. Fair Fryermuth this week. Give me Pat. The one without COVID. I'll take him. All right, I got like 5 more minutes on here. Or less, depending on how many questions come in, or more, depending on how many questions come in. It's up to you. It is up to you. Yeah, I just made way too many trades. My worst one, though, is I gave up James Robinson and Cooper Kupp for Christian McCaffrey. After Kupp had like his 2 down weeks, and by down weeks, he had like 60 yards and 90 yards. And then immediately after the trade, CMC got put on the IR. So that was awesome. That was one of the most fun times of my life. And now Cooper Kupp is like more valuable than CMC. So love that. Love that. I did well drafting receivers, though, and I did no research. So again, big pat on the back. I took Devontae, Cooper Kupp, Mike Williams, Chark. Who else? Bateman. Almost took Jamar Chase. Won't Devonta Smith over him because I'm an idiot. Do you think Aaron Rodgers has? Okay. I read the first line, and then when I get to the second line, I see your name above it, and I can't read the rest out loud, bro. Brosome. But I would say, yeah, he probably does. I'm going to delete my tweet that I went live so people aren't looking for me anymore. Awesome. Start Chris Carson if he plays this week versus Green Bay. Depends who your other options are. I don't think he's going to go out there and just get a shit ton of work. Then again, Pete Carroll loves him, and Pete Carroll's kind of an asshole. So he'd still probably top 24. But if you have two other guys that are much better or more stable, then I probably would sit him and treat it as a wait and see situation. That's just me, though. That is just me, though. See ya. Tariq, I think I remember your name. I forgot how to pronounce it. I know how to spell it. But see ya. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for spending a little bit of time. If OBJ signs with Pats, wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1, probably the wide receiver 1 on the Patriots, which makes him like a wide receiver 4 in fantasy. Tariq, okay. Freeman or Beasley half PPR. Give me the man who stuck a needle in his arm. That's all I'll say. All right, 2 more questions and I'm out. Pick our league's last place punishment. No fake bears and woods. I like that. I like that you want to give me that power. I'm gonna have to think on that. New job remote. Yeah, for the time being. It's like a business analyst position. So the only times I'm gonna have to be in person is for like on-site client work. But I also have to be like trained and all that, so I would imagine it's remote for the foreseeable future. You're gonna come in last, so it's your punishment. I think your punishment would be tune into all of our live streams. Ertz or Logan Thomas rest of the season. Ugh. Ugh. Neither. They're the same person. 'Cause, like, Logan Thomas is gonna be, like, 100 yards, 200 yards, 150 yards. Ertz is gonna be, like, 100 yards, 200 yards, 150 yards. Like, he's gonna be, like, 100 yards, 200 yards, 150 yards. Neither. They're the same person. Brosi Brosum, on that note, so consulting gig? No, it's not consulting. It's not like, what's it called? It's not like commission based. It's like a salaried job, but it's my title is a consultant, but it's a business analyst. I don't know. It's like a job out of college. We'll see what happens. It gets a lot of time off though, which I kind of like, and flexibility, which is like all I care about. But as I was saying, Brosi Brosum, thank you once again for being the cap on one of these live streams with your wild questions. Probably not going to do this again anytime soon. Probably not going to make videos anytime soon if I'm just being completely honest. Probably on Twitter for whatever the fuck that's worth. But I appreciate you guys. If I ever feel like doing this again on a whim, I probably will. If you ever need somebody to talk to, I'll be here for you. I don't know. I just don't really like doing this anymore. It's fun, but I just don't have the motivation to do it again. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Brosi Brosum. My life is better not having to think about doing this type of stuff all the time. But I hope you guys are doing well. If you ever need anything, reach out. And that's it. Probably not going to see you anytime soon. But if I do, I hope you are back for it. Peace. All right, I can't leave yet, Brosi Bros. No, it's not a verbal suicide note. Jesus Christ. All right. Bye bye.